Taylor Swift is the biggest artist in the world, and she has the numbers to prove it. In 2024, while the top artists are struggling to sell a couple 100,000 records, somehow, Taylor is selling over 2 million in just the first week. For comparison, Drake, the most popular rapper in the world, only sold 514,000 first week with his last album, For All the Dogs. That's only 1/4 of Taylor Swift's first week sales of her new album, The Tortured Poet Department. It's not hard to see that Taylor Swift is the queen of the music industry. She is so successful because of her immense army of loyal diehard fans. Fans that are so obsessed with Taylor that they will do anything for her. Some people might even say that Taylor has her audience under some sort of spell that has put them in a trance. What if I told you that that's exactly what's going on? That Taylor Swift is a witch and her music has cast a spell on her fans? You most likely wouldn't believe it, but the thing is, Taylor is telling us herself that this is exactly what's going on. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about Taylor Swift. Let's get right into it. It is no doubt in anyone's mind that there is something special about Taylor Swift's music. She wouldn't be selling over 2 million albums first week if there wasn't, right? Her fans would tell you that she is the greatest artist to have ever existed on the face of the planet. Her fans are so dedicated to her that Taylor sold out every arena show on her tour almost instantly after announcing it. These fans paid thousands of dollars to attend the shows and support her. They are so committed to Taylor that some of her fans even wore diapers to her performance so that they can eliminate having to go to the bathroom during the performance to avoid missing 1 second of it. Her fans' commitment to her is on a whole nother level. To those who don't really get Taylor's music, they don't understand why the fans seem so obsessed over her. What has Taylor done to these people that have made them so obsessed? Is it really just the quality of her music that is just far more superior than any other artist? Or is there something else entirely going on? Looking at how much Taylor's fan base supports her, it almost appears that Taylor is some kind of musical witch that somehow has her fans under a spell. Well, as crazy as it might sound, this is exactly what's going on when it comes to Taylor Swift. And by the end of this video, you will see exactly what I am talking about. Now, I know some of you should know exactly what I am talking about when I am referring to Taylor Swift being a witch. But I know those who aren't familiar with my work are definitely saying, what is this guy talking about right now? Well, the reason I believe Taylor Swift is a witch is because she tells us this herself. Taylor has been telling us she's a witch for years now through her music and imagery in her music videos. She has made it pretty clear that her music is full of witchcraft and she is putting a spell on her fans who listen to her. Taylor Swift is the biggest artist in the world, and it's not only by chance or due to talent. It's all due to those that are behind her. By now, most of you should know that the biggest artists in the world are all puppets owned by the Masonic elite. We often see Masonic puppets showing their Masonic alliance to the world by doing the one-eye symbolism pose. We see so many celebrities placing one hand over their eye, doing this pose, showing their Masonic alliance. This is exactly what we see from Taylor Swift, showing she took the Masonic oath. In this photo, we can see Taylor placing one hand over her eye, showing she took the Masonic oath. This is obviously not a shocker to most of us, as Taylor is the biggest artist in the world, and we know she wouldn't have made it to that level if she wasn't a puppet for the elite. Behind the scenes in the music industry, there's a lot of things that take place in order for an artist to make it to that level. Those that built these artists up are the ones who control these artists and use them to influence the world as they desire. The elite use these artists to push whatever agenda they have designed. With Taylor Swift, she is being used to push and normalize the occult and witchcraft. She is doing what occultists have been doing for years, claiming that there's two sides to the occult and magic. This is not true at all. God clearly tells us in the Bible that magic of all kinds are considered evil and forbidden. In the Bible verse Deuteronomy 18:9, it states, "When you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls upon the dead. For all who do these things are an abomination to the Lord." God made it clear that witchcraft and any form of occult practice is an abomination against him. It's disrespectful to the Lord to even pretend to play with magic, as by doing so, you're doing what Lucifer did, attempting to be God. This is what the Masonic elite are using Taylor Swift to push and normalize. She is trying to paint witches and witchcraft as good and innocent. This is why she is presented in such an innocent way, where she is often shown doing witchcraft. The elite are using these puppets to normalize the occult. This is why the biggest stars often put these occult themes in their music videos. They know that if they see their favorite artists using occult imagery, the fans will be more attracted to it and see it as normal instead of being repulsed by it. Taylor Swift herself tells us she's really a witch, as she has tweeted out in confirmation. Some people who have noticed Taylor using all this occult imagery have started to call her out for being a witch. It has gotten to the point that even the news has had to cover the people questioning if Taylor is really a witch or not. Now you would think that Taylor would go on to deny these claims, but instead, she seems to confirm them, as she tweeted out this video with this caption that reads, "I guess I'm never beating the sorcery claims now." The video shows her at one of her 2022 shows in Argentina, where Taylor is heard singing about a plane going down right as a passenger plane flies over her head. Now I'm not saying Taylor made the plane fly over her head using magic, but I am saying that she is 100% insinuating that she did. Why else would she even post this? Those in the occult tried hard to convince the world that their magic is good and harmless, when this isn't the case at all. Taylor's purpose is to push witchcraft on her fans, and this tweet just further proves that. In this tweet from 7 months ago, we literally find Taylor thanking her fans for casting spells to her music. She wrote on Twitter, "What a truly mind-blowing thing you've turned the Eras Tour concert film into. I have been watching videos of you guys in the theaters dancing and prancing and recreating choreography, creating inside jokes, casting spells, getting engaged, and just generally creating the exact type of joyful chaos we are known for. One of my favorite things you've done was when you supported Cruel Summer so much, I ended up starting the Eras Tour show with it. For old time's sake, I am releasing the live audio from the tour so we can all shriek in it in the comfort of our homes and cars. Thank you so much forever. Wow, just thank you." As you can see, she tells her fans that she is so happy that her fans have been casting spells to her music. Taylor Swift is literally making a coven of witches with her fans, and they don't even seem to realize it. She is hiding the truth in plain sight because she knows her fans are way too manipulated to even realize what's going on. Her entire purpose in the music industry is to misguide the masses who follow her, making them adopt this corrupt view on spirituality. We see this the most when we take a look at her music videos. In her music video for Willow, we see the best representation of this, as we can find Taylor Swift literally performing an occult ritual in the middle of the forest with a coven of witches. In the video around the half point, we see Taylor dressed up as a witch surrounded by other witches. This is a representation of a witch coven, as when a group of female witches get together to practice witchcraft, they are called a coven. This part of the video clearly depicts Taylor with her coven, and then we're shown what she is doing with the group of witches. We see Taylor in the coven ritually dancing while manipulating magical orbs. This is an obvious representation of an occult ritual placed in this video openly. You can see how they made it look as innocent as possible, trying to make it appear as good. This is how they're trying to normalize it. In the video, we also see Taylor following a magic rope into a piano that leads her into a magical world. This is a representation of her music using witchcraft and occult magic. Her music leads her fans to the path of magic, which is literally an abomination in the eyes of God. She is depicting her music leading her fans to witchcraft. It's the same thing we see when we look at her music video for Karma with Ice Spice. In Karma, they start the music video with a record player spinning, releasing magic into the air, and transporting the viewer to a whole new world. In the Karma video, we see Taylor dressed up as a demon in hell, surrounded by her witch coven while she is wearing devil horns. I broke this video down a while back when it came out, and I showed the heavy amount of occult imagery in it, like the scene where they show Ice Spice and Taylor Swift holding the moon and Saturn, two symbols heavily used in the occult. Saturn is a representation of the pagan god Saturn, who is the god of magic. The moon is a symbol of one of the lesser lights in Masonry. If you saw my last video on the Freemasons ritual book, you would know about the three lesser lights. This video is fully incorporating occult imagery. In her music video called Fortnite, we again see this imagery showing us Taylor as a controlled puppet pushing an agenda to her fans. The music video shows Taylor dressed in all white while she is cuffed to a bed. She is then given a pill and uncuffed, where she makes her way to a typewriter and starts typing out the lyrics to her song. Out of the typewriter, we start to see magic flowing out of the machine. Again, it is shown that her music is magic and is casting a spell on the listener. This scene in the video is very telling and proves that Taylor is just a puppet and not in control. The scenes of her being given meds is a representation of MK Ultra and how these celebrities are controlled using substances. Just like Kanye stated during his Vulture rant, we also see that after she is given this pill is when she starts writing the magical song, showing us that she is being controlled and not doing this on her own. In this scene, They literally show Taylor in the laboratory being experimented on. This is clearly a reference to MKUltra, the CIA-confirmed mind control operation. If you don't know what MKUltra is, just Google it, as the CIA were long exposed for this and it's not a conspiracy theory at all. The music video is also in black and white, which is a reference to the Masonic duality. They are showing us that the Freemasons are controlling Taylor and using her to guide her fans away from God. This is Taylor showing us the truth about her music in plain sight. There's more proof than this that Taylor is a witch, and we see that from this live performance where she actually cast a spell on the audience live. I have covered this video of her performance in the past, but I have to bring it up in this video as it's an actual example of Taylor using witchcraft on her fans. In this performance, we see Taylor come onto the stage with her coven of witches. We can see Taylor walking down the center of the stage dressed fully in witch attire. Her coven is then seen behind her following after her. Then they can be seen in the middle of the stage performing a ritual, ritually dancing around Taylor as she sings to her fans. We see the witch coven showing themselves playing with the magic orbs, showing us exactly what they are doing. It's not hard to see that this is clearly witchcraft, a spell she is casting on her adoring fans. Taylor was putting her fans in a trance with her music while she performed a ritual on them. These artists make their music in specific keys and tempos that they know are effective in controlling a person's mind and emotions. Taylor was controlling her audience with this song and ritual. She had them all in a trance-like state. This is the reason many people who attended the concert didn't even remember what happened at the concert. Many of her fans who saw this very performance told the news that they didn't even remember what happened when they went to the show, claiming it was like they don't even remember being there.
You spent almost $1,000 on a ticket, right? You can't remember anything?
It felt like so real. Afterwards, as we were leaving, I was like, did she play this song? I don't remember this song. I don't remember her doing that. And little things like that. But I do remember going to the concert.
This is because Taylor's music essentially cast a spell on her fans and put them in a trance. Music is a form of magic and is used to manipulate the masses. We as humans are made out of vibrations, not just humans, but everything in the world. Those occultists who make this music are taking advantage of that and manipulating people's vibrations using their music. Taylor's songwriters know what keys to use to produce which vibrations that they know would put people in a trance and open them up to demonic energy. Music is all vibrations, and we absorb those vibrations when we listen to it. It affects us and alters us. This is how music gives you chills and makes you feel things when you hear it. This is how these artists use music to control the masses, and this is how Taylor put her fans in a trance and opened them up to occult energy. Taylor has shown us in plenty of videos that she is a full-on occultist. Her fans just don't understand the imagery. In the music video for one of her biggest songs called Look What You Made Me Do, we find so much occult references. The video literally starts with a death and rebirth ritual. As we are shown Taylor Swift rising her way out of a grave, she is then shown in a white bathtub covered in diamonds. This bathtub scene is very common from occultists. I'm pretty sure many of you remember Tupac doing the same exact pose in a tub covered in gold. This is a representation of a death and rebirth ritual. When occultists become devoted to the occult, they perform a death and rebirth ritual, which is meant to be a representation of their spiritual death and rebirth. Taylor rising from the grave, then being shown in a tub, is mocking the representation of the death and rebirth seen in Christianity. They are inverting the Christian baptism by showing themselves do this. In the occult, when they perform this death and rebirth ritual, they are comparing themselves to God, as they're now enlightened with the occult knowledge. We can even see Taylor crossing her arms on her chest. This is an occult pose done by occultists like Aleister Crowley. It's again a representation of rebirth, and it traces back to the ancient Egyptian god Osiris. They are showing us a rebirth ritual at the very beginning of this video. In the same video, we're shown Taylor Swift sitting in a throne surrounded by serpents. This imagery is self-explanatory, and it represents the serpent's throne. She is representing herself as Lucifer. In this video, they show Taylor creating her own army of puppets who follow her and that she controls. This is her representation of what she calls the Swifties. It's important to note that it's not just Taylor who is a mega pop star witch, it's the same with Ariana Grande. A couple weeks back, I made this video about Ariana Grande admitting she's a witch out of her own mouth. In this interview, she confirms that she's a witch and confirms that she's being serious.
Is there an in-between anywhere where Raph meets the universe?
Yeah. I'm somewhere in between. I've learned. I don't know. I said somewhere between being a literal witch, literal witch.
A literal witch, literal witch.
I'm not kidding. And being like the most realistic, cut, dry, like.
Just like Taylor, Ariana is being used to normalize the occult. These stars sold their souls and are guiding so many people away from God. This is the reason more and more people are abandoning God for the new gods, celebrities. These celebrities sell their souls to live like gods, only to be used to destroy so many other souls. So many people don't realize that we're in a spiritual battle. We are defending the kingdom of God from the mental attacks on his people. Those celebrities that they put in your face are put there by those who serve Lucifer's plan. Those who don't want to obey God and his rules and also don't want to pay the consequences for not obeying him. A group of men who want to build a new world that follows the principles of Lucifer's do what thou wilt credo, which means don't follow God's will, follow your own will, and manifest what you want. Pay attention to those artists around Taylor Swift like Ice Spice and Kendrick Lamar, as they're also puppets too. I expose how Taylor has initiated Ice Spice into the occult. We saw Ice Spice showing Masonic hand gestures next to Taylor, and we have seen Kendrick shout out Taylor and even do a song and music video with her full of Masonic imagery. We now see Post Malone in this music video with Taylor as well. These are all puppets just like her being used for the same purpose. Don't allow these puppets to misguide you. Don't fall for none of their foolishness put in place to deceive. Open your Bible, and if you don't have one, buy one. Read it and understand it, as it's the best way to see the truth. We can't allow these celebrities to continue to brainwash the world. Look what the world is becoming, so demonic and lost. Lucifer only wants to destroy what God created. Don't let him destroy you. Well, I'm gonna end this one here, but before you guys go, I just wanted to ask you guys to like, comment, and share this video so that it'll be recommended to others. Also, if you want to help me further on this mission of exposing the truth, you can by becoming a Patreon member for $3 a month. Patreon members get access to over 27 exclusive, uncut, uncensored videos that are not allowed here on YouTube. If you want to join me on Patreon, you will find the link to it in the description. You can also check out the Truth Is store and purchase some of the new official Truth Is merch. You can also find the link to that in the description. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.